Hello, this is Priscilla Batzell in her studio saying hello. And it's been a rough day since the tornado took out my tent at the local Art in the Park. I'm going to try and recreate one of my favorite paintings that got completely ruined. Well, I'm hoping to resuscitate it, but I don't think that it's probably all that likely. So, for my sky area, and it was a landscape, I'm going to use some Chantilly lace and put a little bit of blue in there. And probably put more Chantilly lace onto the canvas and lead it down to the center. Let's make sure that's completely shaken up. This is some frosted, just to mix with that. Spatula wise, I gave myself instructions. Let's hope I can stop and read them. Let's grab the 12 by 24 inch canvas. Got my rag container that's somewhat in my way. Let's start with a fairly copious amount of Chantilly lace right in the center. An OXO omelet turning flip and fold spatula by Good Grips, which is on my Amazon link, which is under the link tree, which is under show more, under the video. So I like to have a layer of something to start with before I add paint to it. And if I have a copious amount at the horizon line, I'll go and I'll pull it down a little bit, but I want the horizon line to be mostly sunset yellow and maybe some orange. And I might go back and hit my sky. This was the original painting was a two-part video, so I'm not sure I can do what I want to do in one go, but I'm willing to try. So this Glad cling wrap, lining my little grease catcher boat. I'm going to knock off all that blue and let some of it slide down my edges. And I might do the same thing with the top. And whatever I have left here will probably be the base for the bottom, which I was contemplating using a dip tool to apply, which is different than the original. I don't want too much blue by the horizon because I've got yellow coming there. I might want to have a look at this after I touch my edges. I wasn't using Prizm pour paints when I did it the first time, but I'm happy to have them now, and if you want to have some, there's a 20% off coupon code. And since I'm an affiliate, and if you shop there, it's actually of assistance to me. I love my Prizm pours. They're by Colour Arte. They also have primary elements, which I have a bunch of and I should mix up and use because they are absolutely sparklicious, fabulous, shimmering gorgeousness. It's just my studio space is a little limited, so I'm mixing up new paint bottles. And that's how I do things. I don't do it like a lot of people do it in cups. I want to be able to walk into my studio, shake some paint up, and get moving. I'm creating something with a lot of choices, not all of which I have to mix up at any given moment. And as long as I have a marble in my bottle, I'm pretty well good to go. Just never fill your mix bottle all the way full, because that's unfortunate. I have one that's too full right now, and it makes shaking it up really, really difficult. So I'm probably going to wind up pouring some off, or definitely using some of that today to make my life easier. I like the Prizm pours also because if I stop my spatula right at the edge, I can often get the top to cover by back pushing. Okay, so now I don't really want to put any more Chantilly lace at the horizon line, but it really wouldn't be much of a problem, I don't think, if I put a little bit. Same paint chip, different location. Come on top. Alright, so I see this, and that is just too dark. for me, so I'm going to get that out of there. Just making it moist. Not even very moist, just a little moist. Just enough to help the paint that I add afterwards cover better. Because paint will flow to paint, and even though there's not a lot of flowing going on, there's some melding. It's my excuse and I'm sticking with it. Now, no matter what I do with this horizon line, I intend on coming back and covering up some of it. This should be fun. Let's see how far that goes. And I've got, oh, I used the Vivid Enamel mixture. And this is Tuscan Sun with Orange Crush with Polypore. So I kind of mix them up pretty regularly. I'm not going to do a lot of that. I might be tempted to pull it up, knock some over the edge into the blue, but that will create green, so I would be better off waiting. And I intend on putting a whole lot of pink clouds in the sky anyway. I have my inspiration piece behind me drying. The canvas has been stripped of its frame, which was smashed to pieces, and there's plenty of holes in it and stuff. I thought about bringing it over to show you, but it's in a pretty big box. I am going to take a peek at that really quickly though, and especially if I can swivel this around. I'm going to have to clean off. Yeah, that's way more way more yellow than I was anticipating. But like I said, I intend on covering some of it up. I just want it to be somewhat ombre'd, or what's a better word for that? That's a pretty good word. Let's make sure I got color on this side. Alright, so time to wipe off my... Oop, I didn't realize there was an edge catcher there. Cool. Interesting. Now, I was thinking about pulling that all the way down, but I'm not going to do that. And what do I want to do next? I want to put a few pink clouds at the horizon, just above, even if they don't stay. This is Frosted Berry, which is deciding to be kind of tough coming out. And since I still have paint in this dish with Chantilly lace, I'm going to put a little bit of pink diamond in there and use the Chantilly lace to help me. Diffuse, that's a good word. Let's do some of this and use something else. Go the other direction also. It's bound to be a little different than the last one, but that's okay with me. What do I have? I have some Pink Lady. And we'll just use everything else that we've got to try and diffuse that also. Not overly comfortable working upside down, but since I'm trying to be quick, I imagine I can get back to where I'm supposed to. So this is making a lovely purple color, similar to the one I had in my other composition. It'd be good if I didn't. So I need to know if I want any more of this purple. I want some Twilight. I'm going to pick up a little bit more of the Chantilly lace. The only problem with having the Chantilly lace in the background is that when I scrape it up, it goes right back down to white again. Which might not be that much of a problem right at the moment. This could definitely become a stage 2. And I have something in my sky. And it has to go away. Because even UFOs aren't square. I can't imagine what that is. Alright, so I'm really thinking that I want some more pink. But I also want some more of this frosted berry that I'm hoping will come out this time. Because I use a marble, it sometimes makes it a problem. I'm wondering if my yellow is set up enough so that I don't have to worry. Someday my huge workspace will come again. I used to have a big studio back in Maine, but it had no heat, and it had stairs that were always covered with ice in the winter, so it wasn't quite the heavenly adventure I would have liked to have had back there. Alright, so I'm going to scrape this off, and I'm going to throw some more something or other in. And if I'm not careful, I'm going to use up my time. I've got some orange crush with a little bit of Big Apple in it. And the color I just used was the Tuscan Sun with a little orange crush in it. I don't want the purple there. Or that there. You know what? I can deal with that. And a little bit of green. But nothing really bad. Okay, so I don't know how much time I've got left. I've got 3 minutes, which is probably not enough time. So I'll just do what I can and come back. Let's get those colors away for the most part. And I was going to do a dip, but in order to do a dip, I've got to have a base color, which in this case I think I'm going to allow to be the Mayan gold. And whatever else is on my spatula. Because like I said, we're just looking for the canvas to be dampened. It'd be nice to have something over the edge or the bottom, but I can always deal with the edge or the bottom later. Until I put other colors on here, it does not matter. Get rid of all the paint off my spatula. To the best of my ability, I found some more. Okay, any little sunny parts that show through will just look like the reflections of the sunset. So I am going to do, I think, what I said I was going to do. I don't want frosted. I do want some gold. Why don't I use my other dish that I'm already using? Because I don't mind if there's other colors in there. We'll do the Mayan gold on the bottom. We'll do whatever comes out. Nothing is coming out. That's the black iris. I will have some. There we go. that's going to have to be cleaned out. And I wanted a little bit of peacock, which is fortunately coming out. Close that up. A little bit of Fandango. And I'm thinking that I'm going to put some other darks in between. So I might want to have something I can pick up on one side. This may or may not work. Cross your fingers that it does. I want some true silver, just because that's something I had in the original painting. Even though the reason I did stage 2 was to cover it up. This is Midnight Shadow, which will create some of the nice darks, which I just want to put across the canvas right now. I've got 3 minutes. I do sell my artwork, and my email address is the way to reach me. It's underneath Show More. And my Amazon link is also on the link tree. I'm going to put a little bit of claret in here just for interest. And I think I've grabbed myself some rich Auburn. Come out. Another one. Oops, way too much there. That's all right, sometimes that works out. Having too much is sometimes perfect. Here's some wintergreen, and that's coming out. I'm contemplating a little bit of bonfire if I have it, and I do. Just depends on if it's amicable to come out or not. Yep, there's some bonfire. I like the claret in there even more than I expected. I think I'm going to throw a little bit of French silk in there. That's not very much. And I've got a little bit of sapphire. And now it's time to play fast and loose with paint. I'm going to throw that in the bucket so it doesn't set up. I haven't done this before. I may wind up putting a whole bunch of paint somewhere else. Whoops, right in my sky. Okay, how do I deal with that? Paint's still wet. So I'm going to take it out. Grab a clean spatula, I think. Just barely in the nick of time. I hope. Alright, I'm definitely contemplating some swiping action going on here. Pretty quick. Filling in with some other colors too. Maybe. Possibility is I did not use enough paint. I think it's time for another tool. I'll get as much as I can out of here. Nope, not enough time. That's not working. Alright, so I love you guys. I'll be back in a minute. And we'll see what I can do with that bottom half. Bye for now. Priscilla out. Oh, I should zoom in. Looks kind of cool, actually. I'll be back for part 2 right off.